Your life at every level of investing, beginner to rich, the first time. Your money moves without you. You invest your first $50, close the app, and try not to think about it. But a few hours later, you open it again. The number has moved, not by much, maybe a few cents up, maybe a few cents down, but something about it feels different because your money is no longer just sitting still in your account. It is moving without you. You did not work another hour. You did not take another shift. You did not answer another message. Yet the number changed because you placed your money into something that can rise, fall, grow, and test you over time. This is the first strange feeling of investing. It is not about getting rich overnight. It is about entering a game where patience, fear, time, and emotion all meet in one small screen. But before investing makes you rich, it first reveals how emotional you are with money. Level 0, the complete beginner. You are scared to start. At this level, investing feels like a world built for other people. You hear words like stocks, ETFs, dividends, crypto, real estate, compound growth, portfolios, and market crashes, but none of it feels fully clear yet. Every term sounds important, and every decision feels like it could either change your life or ruin your money. So you wait. You tell yourself you will start when you understand more, when you earn more, when the market feels safer, when the timing looks perfect. But deep down, you know part of the delay is fear. You are afraid of losing money. You are afraid of choosing the wrong thing. You are afraid of looking foolish. And while you are standing outside the game, you keep watching other people talk about gains, assets, and financial growth like they found a door you still cannot open. That frustration builds quietly because you do not just want to invest. You want to stop feeling behind. But the longer you wait, the more time moves without you. And in investing, time is not just a background detail. Time is the force that gives small decisions the chance to grow. And the first real danger is not losing money. It is waiting so long that time starts working against you. Level 1. First investment. You buy before you fully understand. This is the level where you finally move from watching investing videos to putting real money into the market. Maybe it is a single stock you heard about, an index fund someone recommended, a retirement account you finally opened, or a small investment that felt safer than staying completely outside. The amount may be small, but the emotional reaction is bigger than you expected. You press buy, close the app, and try to act calm. But a few minutes later, you open it again. The number has changed. A tiny gain makes you feel like you made the right decision. A tiny loss makes your stomach tighten. Suddenly, a few dollars moving up or down can change your mood for the entire day. This is the first emotional truth of investing. You thought you were testing the market, but the market is testing you. It shows you how quickly hope turns into greed, how quickly fear turns into panic, and how badly you want to feel right immediately. At this level, you are not fully skilled yet. You are still learning what risk feels like when your own money is inside the decision. And that is where investing becomes real, because the market does not only test your money, it tests your patience first. Level 2, the emotional investor. Every drop feels personal. At this level, every movement in the market starts feeling personal. A small loss feels like you made a mistake. A small gain feels like proof that you are smarter than you thought. Your mood begins following the chart, and suddenly, your peace depends on whether the line is green or red. You check your app during work. You check it before sleeping. You check it even when you know nothing meaningful has changed. The market becomes a tiny screen that controls your confidence. This is where fear and greed begin taking turns. When prices rise, you feel tempted to put in more because you do not want to miss out. When prices fall, you feel tempted to sell because you do not want to lose more. Headlines become louder, opinions become confusing. Someone online sounds certain, and for a moment, you forget that certainty is not the same as wisdom. Most bad investing decisions do not happen because you lack intelligence. They happen because emotion gets the microphone. At this level, the market teaches you that investing is not only about choosing assets. It is about controlling yourself when the numbers move against your feelings. And this is where most beginners either quit or learn the rule that changes everything. Level 3, the consistent investor. You stop chasing and start building. At this level, you stop treating investing like a guessing game. You no longer invest only when you feel excited, scared, inspired, or pressured by what everyone else is doing. Instead, you begin investing regularly. A fixed amount, a repeated habit, a quiet system that keeps moving even when your emotions are not perfectly calm. This is where the goal changes. You stop trying to predict every rise and every fall. You stop chasing the next hot stock, the next loud opinion, or the next perfect moment to enter. You begin to understand that the real power is not in reacting faster than everyone else. It is in staying consistent longer than most people can. Your portfolio may still be small, the numbers may not look impressive yet, but your behavior is becoming stronger. You are building the kind of discipline that wealth needs before it can trust you with bigger amounts. And this stage can feel boring. There is no daily drama, no instant transformation, no exciting story to tell people. Just you, showing up again and again, while time slowly does its work in the background. That is when you realize something important. Boring investing can quietly become powerful, but consistency only works if you survive the moment when the market turns against you. Level 4. The patient investor, you learn to sit through fear. At this level, you experience real volatility, not a tiny dip that disappears by morning, but the kind of market drop that makes every headline feel urgent. Your portfolio falls, the numbers turn red, and suddenly people around you start speaking like everything is collapsing, your old self wants to sell and run. You open the app and feel your chest tighten. The money you spent months building looks smaller in a few days. The confidence you had during calm markets starts shaking. Every part of you wants to do something just to feel in control again. But this is where investing separates emotion from strategy, because patience is easy when everything is rising. The real test begins when the market turns against you and your fear starts giving instructions. You begin to understand that volatility is not an interruption in investing. It is part of the price you pay for long-term growth. The market will test your plan before it rewards your discipline. And slowly, you learn to sit through fear without letting fear become your manager. You stop asking, how do I avoid every drop, and start asking, can I stay disciplined when the crowd becomes emotional? Because the next level is where your money stops feeling like a bet and starts becoming a system. Level 5, the portfolio builder. Your money has a structure. At this level, your investing is no longer random. You are not just buying something because someone mentioned it online. You are not jumping from one idea to another, hoping the next move finally changes everything. Your money now has structure. You may own different types of assets. Some are built for growth, some are built for stability. Some are there for the long term. Some protect you from making emotional decisions when the market becomes loud. This is where you stop thinking like someone who is just buying investments and start thinking like someone building a portfolio. And that shift matters. A portfolio is not only a collection of assets. It is a plan created before fear arrives. It gives your money a role, it helps you understand why you own, what risk you can handle, and what kind of future you are actually building toward. You begin thinking less about quick wins and more about balance, less about excitement and more about protection, less about proving you are smart, and more about staying in the game long enough for time to work. This is the quiet power of structure. But once your portfolio starts growing, a new temptation appears. You begin wanting your lifestyle to grow with it. And that is where the desire to look rich can become more dangerous than the market itself. Level 6, the wealth investor. Growth becomes visible, but so does ego. At this level, your investments begin creating real financial weight. The numbers are no longer tiny. The gains feel more meaningful and the losses feel heavier. You can finally see wealth forming in front of you, not as an idea, but as something real inside your accounts. And that changes the way you see yourself. You start feeling more confident. You start believing your decisions are working. You may even begin to feel ahead of people who never started. But this is where confidence can quietly turn into ego. You see someone making faster returns and suddenly your steady strategy feels too slow. You hear about a risky opportunity and part of you wants to prove you are smart enough to catch it. You earn more, invest more, and then feel tempted to upgrade your lifestyle before your wealth is fully protected. This is the dangerous part of progress. Growth can make you patient, but it can also make you reckless. Bigger numbers can create bigger pride. And when ego enters investing, discipline starts losing its voice. At this level, you learn that growing money is one skill. Protecting it is another. Because wealth is not only built by good returns, it is protected by humility, patience, and the ability to avoid destroying years of progress for one exciting decision. And then comes the level where investing is no longer just about returns. It becomes about freedom. Final level. Rich investor. Money works, but you stay in control. At this level, investing is no longer just something you do. It becomes part of how your life is built. Your money works through assets, time, compounding, ownership, and systems. It grows in the background while you make decisions from control instead of fear. You are no longer investing because you are desperate to escape. You are investing because you understand how wealth is protected, multiplied, and directed. And when you look back, the journey feels different. You remember the beginner who was afraid to start. You remember checking the app too often, reacting to every small movement, and feeling like every red day was a personal failure. You remember the emotional investor, the consistent investor, the patient investor, and the version of you who slowly learned to build structure instead of chasing noise. This is where investing becomes less about excitement and more about identity. You no longer need every decision to prove that you are smart. You no longer need every market movement to validate your confidence. You understand that wealth is not built by one perfect move, it is built by behavior repeated over time. Money is working now, but you are still the one in control. So, what investing level are you currently living in, and what level are you building toward next? Because the real question is not whether investing can make you rich, it is whether you can become patient enough to let it.